my gosh, I'm officially old enough to have a student driver in my house. Hi guys, my name is Lindsay and I am with Perfectly Pastry. Who's Perfectly Pastry? We are a local bakery in Waterloo, Illinois. If you're watching me live, use a heart. Let me know, hey girl, I'm watching you live. If you're watching me on replay, use #replay. And if it's the first time you've ever caught me live, use number 1. Let me know, like it's actually the first time I've caught you live. I know what you're thinking. What does a student driver have anything to do with a bakery? It doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with the bakery at all. I personally just need to sit and talk to somebody about the fact that I now have a student driver. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Hey, you guys. All right. So you know how I am. Let's get all the things that I'm required to talk about first. And then I want to sit and talk about the fact that my daughter turned 15 yesterday. Yes. All right. So I just want to remind everybody that we are rolling out our fall flavors. The fall flavors will only be here for a limited time. So if you are like, oh yeah, love me some fall. You love you some fall stuff? Yes. If you love you some fall stuff, make sure you stop by because, Christmas comes next. I know. You're like, girl, slow your roll. It's not even October. I get it. But when you're constantly having to plan and think about the future, it makes it really hard to realize I have a couple of months until Christmas gets here. But then I'll tell you, it sneaks up on you. So don't fool yourself. It's going to be here sooner than you think. For real. Anyways, so we have our pumpkin pie bars in the shop. We have a maple pecan gooey in our shop, and we have some really yummy new product. It's actually not a fall product, so whatever. It is trail mix bites. You guys were like, oh my gosh, we need some more grab and goes. We love the peanut butter energy bites, and so we went ahead and did a trail mix bite for you. You go in, you grab them in, you can take them to go with you. And because it is fall and we are heading in that fall direction, we are going to be rolling out pumpkin chocolate chip cookies as well. So make sure that you keep watching our social media and following us so that you can see the announcements. And if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you. And want to have you follow us and like us. And then if you're like, I caught this video, but Facebook's not really where I hang out, you're in luck. We are on other social media. Facebook is the only one that we are at Perfectly Pastry Bakery. All the other social media, we are at Perfectly Pastry. I want to let you guys know we have something fun that's coming up. If you are in Waterloo or around Waterloo, you already know that it is coming in October, but maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I don't remember what day. The Oktoberfest is back again this year. Yes, it is. And it is going to be on Saturday the 8th. It's so funny because for some reason I keep thinking Saturday is the 7th. And I'll be like, oh, when's the PumpkinFest? I'm like, I know it's the 7th, but I needed to know the time. By the way, I looked up the time ahead of time, so I have that answer for you. It's from 9 to 4 on Saturday the 8th. But I keep talking about it and I'll be like, what day is it? And I'm like, it's the 7th, right? And my sister's like, it's not the 7th. Why do you keep saying it's the 7th? I'm like, I don't know. Everything's on the 7th. Everything is on the 7th. Every month has the 7th on a Saturday. I keep thinking that for some reason. I thought September was that way. I honestly thought November was that way because I was trying to plan something. I was like, but that's weird. The 7th is Saturday. Don't ask me. I don't know what I'm doing. But yes, so the PumpkinFest is going to be back in Waterloo this year. We're really excited about it. We had so much fun being part of that last year. We were a vendor there. Our shop is also open, so you can go to the shop as well. And then we are also a vendor up at PumpkinFest, and we had a blast last year, and it's open from 9 to 4 p.m. And I want to remind everybody, because I told you Christmas will be here before you know it, we are hosting Grinchmas in the Loo this year. That is right. We will have the big green guy in our shop. You can come by, take photos with him. We have a time that you can actually register to bring your kiddos and they can have a story time with the Grinch. And then we're also going to be hosting a mini session with a local photographer who can take your family's photos. If you're like, oh my goodness, sign me up for something like that, I want to let you know that we do have a website that you can go and register there. When you go and register, we'll be sending you updates just to let you know what's going on, what days he's going to be in the shop, and keeping in the loop on everything that's happening with Grinchmas in the Loo. Yes, I am so excited. Those of you who have caught my shows before, I am so excited. I have literally been hinting at it since January of last year, and I have been talking about it every time I go live, and that is because I am way too excited for it. It's probably one of my favorite things that we are going to be ever doing in our bakery. With that being said, okay, you guys know I'm a total nerd when it comes to business talk, right? Business is my thing. I can't help it. I'm a nerd. And I know that I keep my business talk limited, so I'm going to keep it very limited, but I want to let you guys know I am so excited. So as you know, we not only own a bakery, but we have all kinds of resources that we give out for other people who want to start bakeries, right? Because we're all in this world, not we all are here. We can all have a business together. I don't know how to say that. Like, even though we are competition, like we can still be friends. We can help each other out. Like, there's no reason it has to be them versus us. Like, I totally don't see things that way. As a matter of fact, we refer out to other bakeries because there are things that we don't do in our bakery, right? If we don't do it, we can't serve you. So we might as well give you somebody who can, right? And if we're going to refer you out, we might as well keep it local, right? Like, we're all about keeping it in the community. And so with that being said, we have all kinds of resources that we have provided for other bakery owners. We talk about what we've done in our business. Okay, I'll make this short. We talk about what we've done in our business. We've written books about it. I have blog articles. I have courses. I have all kinds of information that I just sit and do for people who want to own a bakery, with everything that we've done, what has worked, what has not worked. Like, I openly share that information with everybody. And we were hosting it on our website, and I got a lot of feedback like, oh, I can't figure out, are you a bakery? Are you a bakery resource? And so one of the things that was suggested to me is like, hey, pull that stuff off and have people go elsewhere so that you're not just loading all that stuff in your website, right? Because that's my thing. Like, business is my thing. I love that part of it. And so I tend to put it over some of the other things when I'm like planning out the website. So that was the feedback. I took that feedback and I did start a whole new section. So if you go to Perfectly Baking Biz and you're like, I really need some resources to start my bakery, go to Perfectly Baking Biz and there's all kinds of information there for you. So I'm really excited about that. I just started working on that this weekend. Not gonna lie, I was up till like 3 a.m. one day. Okay. I stopped with the business talk, but if you want, go check it out because I'm really excited. It looks so pretty. I'm so excited. I don't do graphic design very well. I don't take pictures very well. I don't have a graphic arts degree. Like, I don't do it very well, but I'm so excited and so proud of myself for what I did. If I could show you like then and now, maybe I'll do a throwback Thursday sometime and like show you what my graphics look like when I first started my business to what my graphics look like now in my business. I am proud. Now, somebody with a graphic design degree may look at that and be like, girl, what do you have going on? But I don't care because I am proud of what I've done. It is way better than when I first started out. I'm not going to lie. So I've like upped my game. Yes, I did. Okay. I'll stop talking business, but I just want to tell you guys, like, I'm so excited about that. All right. Now, yes, this is seriously what I planned on talking about today. And I know that you're thinking like, what does your daughter turning 15 have to do with a business? It doesn't, okay? But this is a family business, and let's be real. Like, I get on here all the time and I talk about personal stuff all the time. Why? It's just who I am. I don't know. I thought maybe you want to know, right? So I am coping with the fact that my daughter turned 15. Yes, it is true. I have a 15-year-old. I know I look so young to have 15. I don't really know that I look young, but it is true. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and it's been an interesting experience. I don't live in the country. Like, I know that I said I live away from civilization, but I live in a community. I live in a gated community. And so like my daughter hasn't actually driven a vehicle. So when I was younger and we lived in the country, like we would drive, like we had long gravel driveways. And I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. So you let your kids drive and get some practice. They're driving the side-by-sides, they're driving four-wheelers, things like that. Like, my kid doesn't get that. I don't have the opportunity for her to do those kind of things around me. So in all honesty, we're starting from scratch with this whole driving process, and she's a freshman. No, my daughter was not held back. I get that question all the time. Her birthday is September 20th, and the cutoff for kindergarten was September 1st. So my daughter had to start kindergarten when she was 6. So she is one of the oldest people as a freshman. And so last year we were like, oh, can she take driver's ed her freshman year? And they were like, no, she can't. But what she can do is you have to take, in the state of Florida, you have to take a 4-hour like substance abuse training. So you have to like sit and watch videos and listen to like the penalties for drinking and driving under the influence. And honestly, things like why you don't drive when you're tired. Like, it was really informative, really detailed, really informative. It's 4 hours. And before you can even sit to take the test, you have to complete this course. Okay. So they're like, you just do this 4-hour course and then she can go in and get her permit. And I'm like, okay, if you say so. So that's what we did. We did the 4-hour course and she took it. She passed it actually It took her 5 tries to pass that one. It was really, really hard. Like not some of those guys. I don't know those questions, like the answers to the questions. I don't drink and drive. I don't know the penalties for drinking and driving. If you quiz me, I know you get in trouble, right? And I know that you should not be tired and driving. Like I know those things as a driver, but I don't know the details of those things. So yeah, she had to take it 5 times, but she passed it, right? And she was like, it was so hard to memorize the details. And like in the state of Florida, depending on your age, depends on your detail of like how much trouble you get into and like what happens to you. And you had to know those things. Yeah, it was really hard. So she was really nervous going into her driver's ed test, right? Like really nervous. She was like, that was really hard, like, and everything. And she already gets test anxiety. So she was like all in her head. And I was like, it's all right. Calm down. Like, at least, you get to retake it. It's not a big deal. She passed it on her first try. I'm so proud of her. She passed on her first try. She missed 6 questions and didn't even actually have to finish the questions because at some point you like have enough that you got right that even if you got all the other ones wrong, you couldn't fail the test, right? So she got to that point. She didn't even have to finish all of the questions because she was going to pass no matter what. So that was really not, I was like, look at that, like pat yourself on the back. Look what you did. In all honesty, the 6 questions she missed were some that she would not know. Now I'm going to mess this up, you guys. I am not a car person. I need that said. Okay. I am not a car person. And so I'm going to mess this up, but so one of the questions was, if you drive a stick shift, right? And you're parking downhill and you got to turn your wheel, what gear do you put your vehicle in? And my daughter is most likely never going to learn to drive a stick shift. I actually might take her when we go back up north. My dad has one and I may have him teach her, but the likelihood that she'll remember the time she needs it's pretty slim, right? But my mom and my dad were very adamant that my sister and I learned to drive a stick shift because heaven forbid we're ever in a situation where the only vehicle around is a stick shift. Now, years ago, that was still pretty likely. Not as likely anymore. My husband keeps trying to remind me, like, I don't think that she'll ever be in that situation. I'm like, but what if? He's like, I don't think she will. I'm still going to train her because that's what was taught to me, right? Anyway, so she got that one wrong. She said that you put it into any gear, and that is not correct. You have to put it into reverse. I didn't know that. I mean, I can drive a stick, but I never put it into reverse. I don't know if I've ever parked downhill on a hill either. So I don't know. It's not like I drive a bunch of sticks. It's usually somebody else's car that I had to like drive for whatever reason. So I didn't know that one. Another one was like when you have to kick off your high beams to low beams, it was like how many feet away from a vehicle, right? Like as drivers, we all know when you see the headlights, you just flip them from high to low. Like you just do that. So she said it was 500, 400, or 200. So she said 400. And I was like, yeah, I probably would have picked 5 and 5 was the right answer. But I only know that is because I can see a car pretty far away, right? And so I would like kick it down. So yeah, I that was another one. They were little ones like that, like some of those weird details like you would never know. Oh, here's another one. When you're driving in the lane and somebody's behind you and you know they want to pass, what do you do? And so she chose that you stay in the center of your lane. Makes sense, right? You're driving, you need to stay in the center of your lane. We all know what it's like when you're driving on some back roads and stuff. No, you're supposed to move to the right, not to the shoulder, but you're supposed to scoot over so they can see around you to pass you. Like that was the correct answer. And I was thinking, please don't do that when you're on a gravel road or anything like that. You scoot over and you're off the road. Like sometimes there's not like a side of the road. Like don't do that, please. I'm like, please just drive in the center of the road. I'm sorry that was the correct answer, but like just drive in the center of your lane, please. I was just like, what? I didn't know that one. So, it was like little things like that. None of those technical things that you have to know. So I was really, really proud of her. That being said, I'm not so sure I want to put her behind a wheel. I don't know how you parents do that when you're teaching your kids. My husband's like, no, she has to take driver's ed. We are not going to be the ones that teach her. And so he and I are kind of like going back and forth about what we're actually going to do because she falls into this weird category where she's not a sophomore. So they weren't offering her the driver's ed class, but now she has a permit. So we're like working with the school trying to see if she can go ahead and get into driver's ed so that at least she has some driver's ed training before she goes in and gets her license, right? Because she has to have like 50 hours of training, 10 of it, or driving with a parent, 10 of it has to be at night. And she has to hold her permit for at least 365 days and obviously no violations. So those are the rules in Florida. And now this is the part that I don't know. I don't know if she gets to just go in and exchange it for a driver's license or she has to take a test. And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of you guys, but I got my license in Texas. And this is how it worked in Texas. you could take driver's ed, or your parents could spend the $20 and do an at-home training. You go in and you take your permit test. It's like 100 and something questions. And if you pass it, they give you your permit. And when you do that, then your parents pay their money and they get their training manual, or they register you for an outside class. It was like $250. So my mom's like, all right, we're gonna do it at home. So she pays $20. She gets the packet. You have to like fill it out. You got like questions, study guides. You got to like chart all your driving and where you were when you drove and all of these things, right? And then you go in when you turn 16 and you provide proof that you've been in school for, I think it was like 180 days or something like that. Like if you were out of school or you dropped out, you could not get your license in the state of Texas when I was younger. So I turn in my permit, and lo and behold, they hand me my license. No testing whatsoever. And my mom's like, wait, what? No testing. You're just going to just let her drive, right? Just let her drive. And they were like, yep, that's all she had to do. And my mom's like, oh, like this is crazy. You're not even going to like test her knowledge. You're just letting her go out there in the world. And they're like, yes, we are. And as a matter of fact, we lived in Round Rock. And if you don't know where Round Rock is, it is a suburb of Austin. And so I got my license without testing and then was like, here, drive in Austin. It wasn't that bad, but my mom will tell you it was very bad. I mean, I can drive, so there you go. But yeah, I was just like, oh, okay, like that's all. You don't want me to drive? You don't want me to do anything? You're just gonna take my word that I can drive. Okay, whatever you say. It was the weirdest thing. My husband's like, we are not doing that. He's like, she needs to be trained by somebody, and then we'll get in the driver's seat with her. So I don't know, because like we're pretty far into the school year. I mean, I guess not. We're like a month into the school year. So I don't know if they'll put her into that driver's ed class or not, or if we will have to teach her. So I guess I'm just going to take her up. Like I don't have any fields. I don't have any fields to take her in. I don't have any gravel roads to take her in. So I have a community parking lot. So I guess I'm going to take her up there. I know people are like, take her to an empty parking lot. It's relatively empty. Like typically residents don't park up there. Like you can't park up over there overnight and things like that. So I guess my first practice will be like parking and reversing out of a parking spot. And I am the world's worst parker. I'm not going to lie. Ooh, I probably should not be teaching her to park. I cannot park straight to save my soul. Everybody is always like, what kind of parking job is that? And I'm like, I tried. I really promise I tried. So maybe I shouldn't do that. But I guess that's what we're going to do. So if any of you parents out there have some tips on like what I should do to like help my daughter, let me know. Let me know. I'm really nervous about it. I like saw this parent's car this morning when I dropped my kiddo off at school, and it was like, new driver, trust me, I'm as scared of driving as you are of watching me drive, or something like that. It made me chuckle. I'm like, maybe I should get a sticker like that. Obviously, I need to get a student driver sticker and like stick them in my husband a nice car. I have a really big vehicle. My husband has a small car. The car is actually going to be my daughter's. And so I guess we're going to teach her to drive the car first, and then maybe we'll teach her in my car. But my husband gets home later than me, so I guess I'm going to teach her to park in my car. I don't know what we're going to do, guys. It is so much to think about as a parent. I am not prepared for this. I'm not. And then my middle daughter, she's so kind. She's like, Mom, think about it. Like, right? Because my daughter's birthday is yesterday. And she was like, think about it. She was a little girl, and now in a blink of an eye, she can drive. I'm like, dude, shut up. I'm like, I don't need you doing that. I already know in a blink of an eye she grew up. I'm like, stop. All night last night, just think about it. Blink, blink. That's all she kept saying to me. Blink. Now she drives. I'm like, dude, stop. You're not helping the situation. But my younger two, they thought it was so cool that their older sister has her permit. They're like, this has to be the best birthday ever. This has to be the coolest thing that's ever happened to you in your life. And I was just like cracking up with them last night. Yeah, it was funny. But yes, we officially have a student driver in my house, and I don't know how to take it. But all right, you guys, I will stop boo-hooing about it. I'm serious though. Drop in the comments if you have any kind of tips, tricks, or like what to do about when you have a student driver. I am all ears on trying to figure out the best way to teach her how to be responsible and all of those things. At least the one thing I have drilled in her head over and over again is do not answer your phone. Do not answer your phone. Do not answer your phone. So hopefully that one sticks with her. I don't know, you know how kids can be, but any tips, tricks, I am all ears. Please, please, please drop them in the comments and let me know. All right, I will get off of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful the rest of the week. Oh my goodness, my niece is so funny. It has been relatively decent around my place. Like I'm in Florida, right? And it's been about 88 degrees. My niece told me that your guys' weather was like 96 the other day. I was like, you are hotter than we are. Like it is not that hot here. At one point it dropped down to 72 because of storms and stuff coming in. And she's like, it's so hot here. So, oh, look, your second summer is back up there. At least we stay consistently warm. You guys like get teased. It's like, oh, it's kind of cool. Oh, psych. No, it's blazing hot again. So I laughed when I got that text message from her because I was like, yeah, you guys are way warmer than we are right now. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to hop off of here. I will give you back the rest of your week. I will see you guys again next week. If you're watching us on Facebook, please like and follow us on Facebook. If you're watching this video and it's not on Facebook, come and find us on social media. Facebook, we are at Perfectly Pastry Bakery. All the other ones, we are at Perfectly Pastry. All right, you guys, I'm going to hop off of here. You have a wonderful rest of your week.